In 2018, after Matt Marks died, we established the Matt Marks Impact Fund as a way to try to honor Matt's legacy by bringing exciting, ambitious, risky work into the world that wouldn't otherwise happen. And so we opened up applications, and one that really jumped out to us was this proposal by an artist that we'd never heard of before, named Alyssa Pyper, who had created this set of songs that are a reflection on her experience growing up queer and Mormon.
I initially wrote Cradle using my loop pedal, and I would layer textures with my violin. To bring Cradle to Alarm Will sound, I had to get curious about more instruments than I've ever thought of writing for.
Alyssa began with these versions of these songs that she'd created for herself and a looping pedal. And the idea that she started with was that we were going to become the looping pedal. That in the same way that the layers that she'd created through looping were a kind of resonating chamber for the songs, and now we were going to become that resonating chamber for the songs.
And I was taking like really kind of one-dimensional violin textures on my loop pedal and thinking about how brass can amplify or color that, how the woodwinds, and of course the string players too. And so taking those tonal qualities and letting them really lift it to become more dimensional.
In your light.
There's a clarity and transparency to the material and a directness and then a grit that comes from the emotions of the experience. And so the sounds are very direct, but also like dirty and gritty. And that combination is really magical and really special.
The sound aesthetic in Cradle is really about allowing myself to play in the ways I wasn't allowed to in classical music. And that it's like actually a feature of the piece. Play scratchy bows or shaky bows or like maybe not perfectly in tune. And that's embedded in the expression of the piece. And I'm like encouraging ensemble members to join me.
Because the violin is so closely related to the human voice, you feel the vibrations of the violin in here. You're creating all this sound yourself, and it's somehow echoing out. And the sound of her voice just grabbed me in a way. It was just very, I had a visceral reaction to the sound of her voice.
I think initially I felt very scared. Coming into the collaboration, I felt like I needed to know how to do everything. And repeatedly, folks in Alarm kind of showed me that part of the collaboration was for me to like be mentored by them, to receive help with things that were new to me in terms of orchestrating for a whole ensemble.
I think Alyssa's piece is going to make a big difference. That's what I think the Matt Marks Impact Fund is about. That's what Matt would have wanted. He wanted us to be making music that was going to make a difference somehow. I think artistically it makes a difference. I think its message makes a difference. I think everything about it is going to, I just think it's going to speak to people in a really interesting way.
I've loved this music since Alyssa first brought us the original, and to hear the way that that music has been exploded out into this, rich, full three-dimensional environment with Alyssa as the center and Alarm Will Sound as her resonating body. It's a piece I'm very, very proud to have supported, along with all of Alarm Will Sound, the creation of.